This U.S. Open preview edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN and get a free Refs or Terrorists t-shirt. Claim your shirt at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs.
What's up? It's the most must-see WWE superstar of all time, The Miz, and you are watching SGPN, and it is awesome. Let it ride.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man. San Diego Superchargers.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
And Spuds.
And Spuds, you're right. Spuds is he is the third member of the team here, keeping it locked down. He's a party dog. And God bless Spuds. Ryan, there is we got a U.S. major golf happening, and we got some breaking news before we went live. Video surfaced of this former NBA player. I was like, why is this guy trending? I click on the video, and as luck would have it, we have this week's edition of Real Men of Degens.
Oh boy.
SGPN presents Real Men of Degens. Real Men of Degens. We salute you.
Boogie Cousins seen at a hey, it looks like he's playing in a Puerto Rican league, Ryan, down in Puerto Rico, getting into it with a fans jogging, and he just violently grabs his own dick in the guy's face, threatening to punch everyone in the crowd. Oh man, you got to see this video. He's going off. The people are trying to get in between him and Boogie Cousins. Seems like he calms down a little bit. Now, obviously, he's going to get tossed from the game. And then, Ryan, his exit walk is almost crazier. Okay, Boogie Cousins exiting the game after getting tossed, taking off his jersey. Everyone in the arena seems to be really mad at Boogie Cousins. One guy throwing the bird right in front of his face, and then he throws the drink on him, and he's just unleashing, tackling someone, goes to the ground. I have no idea who is he attacking here, Ryan.
I think someone threw beer on him, and then he just
another just giant beer, and now he's bobbing and weaving like Floyd Mayweather. Oh man, they're just pushing him out. Wow.
Yeah, sports are different in other countries.
Yeah.
You ever seen the fences they build around the soccer fields in South America?
Well, I always know soccer as a soft sport, but then these guys, they're firing off Molotov cocktails for a soccer game. I don't understand that passion.
Frankly, you can't. As someone who likes the NBA,
yeah,
that's a tough take.
Really?
That's a tough take.
What's a tough take?
The soccer is soft.
Oh, soccer is much softer than the NBA, right?
We can move on from this. So that's one of the worst takes you've ever had.
Come on.
That's one of the worst.
The National Basketball Association.
Good luck.
Who's the tough soccer players?
Name the tough basketball. Are you kidding? You watch them flop?
Yeah, there's some flopping. But nothing compared to soccer.
You're wrong.
Soccer is the worst flopping.
You're very wrong.
No, I'm very right. So you're a big soccer guy, Ryan. I didn't know that.
I think soccer players are tougher than NBA players. They play for a much longer season through the winter outside. They don't do load management.
But there's no contact in soccer.
There's plenty of contact. There's more contact in soccer than basketball. Your take is bad here.
No, come on.
Okay.
Just fire off in the chat.
11 people. There's a number of ways I can calculate this, but
sure.
There's way more contact in soccer.
Yeah, but then they call it
real contact, not this fucking bullshit contact in the NBA. This is a bad take.
You're just mad because of your voice. You still haven't regained.
No. I'm mad that you're defending the NBA. It went from you kind of liking the NBA to now You're insulting our fan base.
NBA, our fan base
with
is,
this softness.
No, the NBA is a very soft sport. That being said, soccer is way softer.
Okay.
It's
just a bad take.
Bring up. Should we get Colby on the line?
Colby would probably agree with me.
No, come on. Soccer.
I think most people would.
Soccer.
Yeah.
Most people.
Most
All
people.
right, sound off in the chat. Soccer or NBA? What is softer? All right.
Will you agree when you're wrong? When you're proved wrong? Will you change your opinion?
Sure, but how would I be proved wrong? If we ran a poll question,
well, this is why some things are impossible to debate with you because it doesn't matter.
But
you won't observe the results anyway.
Well, it's like
it doesn't matter.
Wheat Thins and Triscuits all over again.
No,
we ran a poll. The audience said Wheat Thins were better, and you still didn't acknowledge that they were better.
That's fine if the audience thinks they're better.
Oh, okay.
But this is an objective thing. This isn't subjective.
So how would you determine a winner?
You cannot defend the NBA, the league that created load management,
compared to soccer.
The league that created a million things that's about not playing hard.
Right. I was just talking.
There's different gears. They admit they don't try in the regular season. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but soccer's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Yeah, our soccer.
They play tournaments while they're playing the regular season. What the fuck are you talking about?
Our soccer team.
Your lack of knowledge.
No, the U.S.
disappointing right now.
I was talking to Billy about it. The U.S. soccer head coach is mad at the team for not wanting to participate in the club games because they're tired from playing too much soccer. That's a direct quote from the host of the Soccer Gambling Podcast.
You're taking something incredibly out of context here. You're a club World Cup that no one is taking seriously. Because there's other international competition going on. And it's a club off season right now.
Okay.
It's a preseason competition. It would be like if we had our NFL teams play overseas in front of the Europeans.
No, why does the coach want them to play?
Because we suck and we need to play.
Sounds soft.
No, you're being ridiculous. This is a bad take.
Well, let's switch gears to talk golf, Ryan.
This is a really bad take. The chat's agreeing with me too.
Where?
I don't see anyone saying the NBA is better.
I don't. I see soccer
because you don't know what some of these things mean. PSG is a soccer team.
Okay.
Soccer way better than NBA. That's in English.
Okay, but
Bundesliga greaher than NBA. That's also.
Yeah, they're
in
saying they like the sport better. Doesn't mean it's not softer.
No, that was the question. Sound off. You said sound off in the chat.
Yeah.
People are sounding off in the chat.
That they think soccer is soft. Let me know. Is soccer softer than the NBA, or is the NBA softer than soccer?
I'd love to hear one person say the NBA is not soft.
I will direct those replies to you at Kramer Centric. All right, Ryan.
I'm shocked.
Why is this such a crazy take?
If
soccer is the softest sport.
A fan of this show would come in. Maybe they've taken a little time off and they're like, "What is this Sean Green loving the NBA so hard?"
What are you talking
about?
Love
the NBA now.
Compared to soccer, yeah. I've never liked soccer.
The NBA is the worldwide example of softness. They created load management, Sean. What are you talking about?
But they're still ahead of soccer. That's how bad soccer is.
No, you're insane.
Okay,
it's a bad take, and I understand what you're doing now. It's a bit, but you're going to make the audience.
No, I genuinely think soccer is the softest sport.
Okay.
Unless we talk
there
about
are
golf.
Plenty of sports where people don't actually touch each other.
Sure.
If you really want to have that conversation.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, golf is you can't compare it to golf, but in a sport where people are running around, soccer is the softest in my mind.
Okay. Well, find me the load management. Find me.
There's plenty of load management in soccer. What are you talking about?
Okay.
I didn't know you were such a soccer guy. I didn't realize I was insulting.
No, it's just a stupid comment.
Okay.
The NBA is notably soft.
Yes,
the league is trying to
I don't disagree with anything you're saying.
But it's like
both can be true.
No. You don't watch soccer. Also,
I've seen soccer. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I've watched plenty of clips. I watched the World Cup.
You can play pickup basketball. You couldn't play pickup soccer.
Well, what does that have to do with softness?
Because basketball is softer. That's why.
What? No, it's because you have to be in better physical shape probably to
disagree.
Okay. You don't think I can handle the physicality of soccer?
No. I don't think you could play soccer. I think you could play basketball.
You're crazy.
Okay.
You're crazy. Now that's you're trying to insult me.
No, I'm saying that soccer is a much more physical sport, and an average person can go play pickup basketball because you can stand in the corner like most NBA guys do. Soccer, you can't do that. You'd be offsides.
Oh yeah, cardio. Sure, I agree with you. Cardio soccer is harder, but soft. It's definitely softer.
Not trying is soft.
Okay.
Not wanting to give your all is soft.
All right.
Not wanting contact is soft.
And you think
every NBA player that played 20 years ago calls the NBA soft.
Right, but that's
no soccer players call the league soft now. No old soccer players are like it's soft.
I'm sure I could find those guys.
Okay.
Every old athlete calls the younger generation soft.
In the NBA, it's
and
consistent.
Other sports.
It's
NFL calls
100% of all
old NFL players call the league soft.
Let me phrase it differently. No players in the NBA that played back in the day would say it's not soft today. It's the most uniformly agreed upon thing is ex-NBA players more than any other.
You're misunderstanding me. I don't disagree that the NBA is soft. Both can be true. Both can be soft. Both NBA and soccer are soft. Soccer is softer.
Yeah, but okay.
Why is that opinion so wrong?
Because because the NBA is like newsworthy for being soft.
And so is soccer.
It's not.
Okay.
We're actually reporting on the softness of the NBA. We have been now.
If people cared more about soccer, they would be reporting on it. But soccer, the expectation is they come in, they're not expecting physicality or contact. So when it's not there, they aren't upset by it.
No disrespect. You sound like an idiot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
think if you went and trained with if we found like a 16-year-old boys team,
okay,
you would have a hard time dealing with the physicality. You could play with a 16-year-old boys team in basketball.
Now that is the fucking craziest thing you've ever said on this show.
In basketball, you do fine.
That is crazy.
In basketball?
That's crazy.
What?
That I couldn't hang with a 16-year-old soccer team.
You couldn't.
That's fucking crazy. You think you could?
Probably not. Not at this age. But physicality, I could for sure.
All right. Both those statements are insane.
What do you mean?
Those are insane.
You've never
statements.
played soccer.
Yes, I did play soccer.
You could never hang with a 16-year-old boys team.
Okay. I could run around out there and would I be good? No, because they're in better cardio
and
shape.
You'd get knocked over.
I would not get knocked over by 16-year-olds.
Okay.
I would not.
Okay.
What world do you live in? If you get knocked over, they call a foul.
That's not true.
Okay.
That's
all
not
right.
true.
You're the expert of everything.
In soccer, yeah. In this part, yes, I am the expert.
You don't watch basketball though.
I see plenty of basketball in the NBA to see how.
But I don't see plenty of soccer to know it's soft.
No, you don't.
Soccer is soft.
I feel good. I feel good saying that you don't actually. When's the last time you watched a full soccer game?
I don't know.
Never.
Last World Cup.
Okay. Yeah. So
What's changed?
I've watched a lot. Okay.
Has anything dramatically changed since the last World Cup?
No.
Okay.
No. This is okay. The chat is uniform. There's no one agreeing with you.
What do you mean?
There's not one person agreeing with you. We can move on now. The chat, you can read all the messages.
Okay. NBA is powder soft. Soccer players have to sprint for 90 minutes. I don't think cardio is a measure of whether you're tough or not.
Okay. I think a football player would disagree with you. I think there's plenty of football players would disagree with that comment. I think a lot of rugby players would disagree with that comment. Hockey would probably disagree with that comment. Hockey's a lot of cardio.
Okay.
You're trying to find someone agreeing with you in the chat. Cardio's a ton of, hockey's a ton of cardio.
Kramer, I feel if we ran a poll in the audience, what is softer, soccer or basketball? What do you think the results would be?
Basketball.
Okay. 100% you're wrong.
Okay.
I'll run the poll right now.
Run the poll. NBA.
Hit up
NBA
at Gambling Podcast.
Pick two leagues. The best basketball league, NBA, versus the EPL.
What is softer? Question?
Yeah. NBA versus EPL.
Okay. And we'll agree to abide by whatever the audience at Gambling Podcast make your voice heard.
Now, if you wanted to pick a league that was soft, the Spanish, they're soft. La Liga. That would have been the inside baseball move.
Okay. Well,
I'm just trying to help you out now.
No one, not enough of our audience knows the EPL too.
See, that's how you pivot when you're wrong.
What do you mean?
You mock the argument.
Okay, well, when it comes in that EPL is softer,
okay,
you will say you're right, Sean.
I'll agree that the audience if the audience thinks the NBA is less soft than the EPL, I will admit that I'm wrong.
Okay,
but that won't happen.
All right,
that 100% won't happen.
You said the same thing about Wheat Thins and Triscuits.
Okay,
am I wrong?
Okay, that is a completely different. You're.
What do you mean? It's the same.
You're attempting to do it again. You're dragging it into a completely unrelated thing.
Right. It's a cracker argument versus a sports argument. All right, Ryan. We have a guest on the line who doesn't care about NBA or soccer. Joining us on the line, Mr. Dom Cintorino from the Golf Gambling Podcast. Dom, soccer or NBA? What is softer?
I was gonna say soccer was softer, but
thank you.
I think
no need to explain. No need to explain. It was your gut reaction, and we appreciate you hopping on the line from the Golf Gambling Podcast. We're here talking U.S. Open. Dom, let's talk about the course. I saw you tweeted out a photo from the where is it being held? Oakmont?
Yeah, Oakmont Country Club. Earlier today, I played around on the 2015 Rory McIlroy game just to get a little feel for it. That's what the photo was from. They have very few courses on there, but Oakmont's one of them. But I mean, it's a U.S. Open, obviously going to play very difficult. Some people say it's the most difficult course in the United States. I mean, it's really thick rough. I'm sure anyone who's looked up anything about the course has seen videos of people dropping a ball and it getting lost into the 5-inch rough. The greens are very challenging. I saw a quote that said it's like putting on a basketball court. So extremely fast. They will run off the front, run off the back, run into bunkers. Distance is needed. And then ultimately you're going to need a mentally stable golfer. It's going to test your patience. So you don't want a golfer who's going to go full Boogie Cousins, kind of like that.
I was playing today and I watched a guy he must have thrown his wedge 100 yards into a lake. You don't want that kind of mentality.
You don't.
I was watching the every year the US, so they love putting the USGA loves putting the content out, whether it's did you see the synchronized swimming for men?
Yeah, we have to talk about the rough was really long, and then Ryan tweeted out the video at Kramer Centric of all these hand mowers that they were working together, and I saw a guy in a sand trap like holding up a mower sideways. What's going on for golf casuals? What is going on? Why do people care? What's happening with the grass here?
I think they're just making it look perfect for this week, which I saw that exact photo, kind of insane. And then I saw another clip on Twitter. A guy had almost like a razor. Like someone said, this guy's giving the fringe a 2 buzz cut all around. Like they had like handheld razors and they were shaving the fringe.
Really?
I've never seen anything like this before.
There is an element of like,
I mean, it's a showmanship. Also, too, like the U.S. Open was on the schedule for a long time. The idea that they're like, oh, we gotta go out there and mow the lawn. All of a sudden, I think they would have an idea that the grass should be cut a certain way. But going back to how this course plays, if you go off the fairway, it sounds like you're pretty much cooked here with how deep this rough can be. And basically, if you go into the rough, you got to add another stroke, essentially, right?
Yeah, basically just punching it out onto the fairway as far as you possibly can. And these guys aren't going to have a whole lot of shots to the green depending on where they're at. So obviously distance is going to play a big role here. The further up you are, the closer you are to the green, obviously. So if you are in that rough, at least you're a little bit closer than the field.
I can't wait to watch the first pro golfer not hit it out of the rough. Like try to hit it out of the rough and it not go anywhere.
Yeah, no. And this is the U.S. Open is for us sick freaks who like to see great golfers tortured by a course. Right. And if we get any sort of weather, I mean, what do we, if you had to project what the winning score would be, what do you think we're going to get for a winning score? Like, I don't think, again, from what I'm seeing, it doesn't seem like a lot of guys are going to be under par here for the entire course.
The last time they played Oakmont, Dustin Johnson won at 4 under. There was only 3 other guys who were under par for the entire round. DraftKings has the line right now set at 278.5, which is juiced to 2 under. So it's between a 1 under and 2 under buffer, juiced to 2 under. I would assume it goes under that, like 2 under, 3 under, 4 under that way. But at the same time, it's hard to say because I don't think that many guys are going to be under par when it's all said and done.
I would say over under 1.5 guys under par. Sean, what do you think?
I'll say 2, but I think that's it. Like 2, maybe 3 guys.
It's going to be hot the first couple days too. They say that makes the greens even harder.
Yeah. Jesus. Well, and we'll get into it when we kind of do our DFS lineups, hit on some of these guys.
Well, real quick, we were just mentioning Dustin Johnson. Did you see the pictures that he dropped?
No.
I think it was recently. I hope I'm not making myself look like a fool. But
no, you're right.
Oh, nice.
Oh, is that's Dustin Johnson?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Let me get Dom on the screen. So we're the
I didn't recognize him there.
The 2016 champ posting a photo shoot right before.
Oh, here it is.
seems like he's locked in. Maybe not on golf, but
no, it gets better. Ready?
Yeah.
Let me make this bigger. Okay. All right, check this out. It gets better. This is like, okay, whatever. My girlfriend made me do it. Which, by the way, shout out to the great one, Wayne Gretzky. All right, so then it's
I mean, his daughter is very attractive. Now, wait, are they married or are they just still dating?
Married.
Okay.
Yeah, they're married.
And Dustin, he looks very serious, and then it gets completely off the rails. Like,
fully unbuttoned.
No, are they promoting anything? Is this? He looks like Don Johnson back in the day with just like a white blazer, no shirt underneath. Ryan, you always wear the blazer on VEASAN. Maybe we can
no shirt.
Yeah, no shirt underneath. Pull the Dustin Johnson.
Oh man, that I can't imagine the email from Bill.
Well, now. What, Dom? You know Dustin Johnson better than I do, but his wife, very attractive. I would understand why she wants to put out photos, but what is Dustin Johnson promoting here? What is the end goal? Is he trying to get a cologne ad? What am I missing here?
So her Instagram caption just tags him, and the caption says nobody else. That's it. So this isn't to promote anything. You would think it would be a cologne ad, and I could see it.
Right?
I'm gonna go with this is him celebrating his $125 million he got from Live, showing everyone he doesn't give a fuck about golf.
Although
anymore.
Dustin Johnson on cologne, maybe they don't want to.
By the way,
him sniffing stuff, maybe not the best association.
It's like, by the way, I already won this. Once.
So it seems like a guy who's really locked in, ready to go for the U.S. Open. All right, we're gonna give out we'll do our DFS idol where Ryan and I toss out our DFS picks. Dom grades them, and Dom already a great judge in my mind with his response to the poll question. Oh, wow. But we'll get into it with DFS idol, and of course we're brought to you by Edge Boost, the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved, no usage fees, no minimums, earn cashback rewards, 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN, and this is the last week to sign up and get a free Refs or Terrorists t-shirt. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs to claim your free shirt. Jake just sent out a bunch of them today. So if you signed up and you filled out your info there for the free shirt, be on the lookout. That is on its way. And of course, shout out to Circa and the ultimate fantasy football giveaway. Circa is awesome, and you can win a 2-night stay for you and 11 friends. Legacy Club welcome party, 5K bar tab over at Stadium Swim, the hotel stay. We got it all over at the Circa, and maybe you win the contest, maybe you don't, but you should be holding your draft here anyway. Use promo code SGP15 when booking any sort of stay. Kramer, we're going to be out there. We're doing a show July 3rd. Always down to say hi after the show. We'll also be out there for contest weekend, doing some live shows, live podcasts on top of the VEASAN show, August 21st. So
maybe that's when we we do our own version of the Dustin Johnson.
Oh yeah, perfect.
On those low chairs at Stadium Swim.
That it would be one of the, and I actually did that when we did our Masters watch party ride.
Wow.
I did have my Masters jacket shirtless underneath.
Oh, I gotta find it.
sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're going to give out our DFS lineup. Perhaps winning $1 million. Just also easy way to bring up a bunch of golfers. Kramer and I are interested. Get a pulse check here from Dom. See what he and the and Matt over at the Golf Gambling Podcast are on. I'll start coming in at $10,400. My big gun. Now I'm not playing Scotty Scheffler. Will Scotty Scheffler probably win? Maybe I do just play Scotty Scheffler, but for DFS purposes, and I think I will probably figure out a way to get down on him. But don't cut that. Xander Schauffele. He has had 7 top 10 finishes in 8 U.S. Opens, including a top 7 at Pinehurst, number 2 last year. He seems like kind of the perfect fit for this course. 10,400. I'm not taking Bryson, who again, talk about a crazy guy. Rory seems to be phoning it in, and Scotty Scheffler at 14,400 is a little crazy, but he'll probably end up winning. Dom, how say you on Xander?
I don't mind Xander just based off of what he's been able to do at majors and the U.S. Open in general. I just don't know where he's at. He came off of an injury a couple months ago. We haven't really seen what we saw last year. So 10-4 might be a little steep of a price for me. But
I see that's that he's trying to be nice to you.
Yeah, it wasn't a ringing.
You're a pretty girl, and Randy Jackson's like little pitchy.
Little pitchy. Okay, not a full miss, but certainly not a ringing endorsement to Dom here.
It was sitting right in front of your face.
What is it?
Well, 14,400. Why wouldn't you put Scotty Scheffler in the lineup? Well, at first I said it's impossible.
Yeah.
And then I realized, I looked at the pricing and I found that it wasn't impossible. Sean, did you know? Well, we all know that Scotty finished second back in 2022, best finish in the U.S. Open. But did you know he's been the world number 1 for 143 weeks?
Really?
Pretty impressive, right?
No, I mean it's just boring. He's up there with Tiger as far as just complete domination. Dom, what do you make?
Well, hold on. He's not up there with Tiger. Let me finish.
Okay.
So Scotty's right now 143 total weeks, but his current. That's the total. Sorry. He sits behind only 2 golfers in terms of number of weeks sitting on top of the golf rankings. Do you want to take a guess at the other guy, not Tiger Woods?
Phil Mickelson.
Greg Norman.
Really? The shark.
Fun fact about Phil, 34 U.S. Opens, tied for second all time. This could be his last.
All right.
Anyway.
Yes.
Tiger Woods.
Okay.
World number 1 for 683 weeks. So Scotty Scheffler's not even 25% of the way there. Even crazier. Tiger Woods had two separate consecutive streaks of one was 281 and one was 264. So Scotty Scheffler is barely halfway to one of Tiger's dominant runs, which by the way, during these stretches of him, I mean, the number of, in a weird way, Scotty's behind the pace. Now, all of that being said, I'm not going to be stupid. I spent the whole last week, or really the last couple of weeks, just listening to all the golf people say, you can do this, you can do that, but Scotty's just going to win. Yeah. So why wouldn't I take Scotty just to win? Now, granted, I was able to fill out the rest of my lineup. I'm not playing 5 golfers. So, Dom, he's the winner, right?
I don't know how you can argue against him. And it's funny you bring up Tiger Woods because that was the stat that I was going to bring in here. So Data Golf, a website that does their own type of ranking system, ranks the June version of 2025 Scotty Scheffler as the second best golfer of all time, behind 2000 Tiger Woods.
Yeah. And
so based off of current form, how much they're beating the field by, and just their yeah, just how they're playing in general. They have Scotty as the second best golfer in his current form right now of all time. We talk about how hard this course is going to play. I don't think that really matters when it comes to Scotty. You're just paying for such a high floor. I mean, he's off the charts when it comes to his statistical profile. It's just hard to argue against. And 14-4 might be the highest priced golfer that I've ever seen.
And I based on what all of the sharps are saying, is he going to be under-owned?
He probably will be. Yeah, and you're left with just over $7,100 per spot. So, I mean, as deep as the field is at the U.S. Open, you can definitely get some value, especially if you go into the mid to low fives. I mean, you can fill out a decent team. You just got to cross your fingers. You get 5 or 6 through the cut.
I feel good.
All right, I'm making an update.
What happened?
I'm putting in Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, okay.
This is a work in progress lineup.
Choice.
I'm putting him in. My next golfer after Scotty Scheffler's obviously number one.
It's like changing your outfit mid song.
Yeah. Well, I'm not too proud to admit when I'm wrong. Tommy Fleetwood, $8,800. A tradition unlike any other. Me selecting Tommy Fleetwood in a major, but why not?
Yeah, got him in vinyl, right?
34-year-old, and again, it seems like late 20s to mid 30s is the sweet spot for the U.S. Open because it is so tough. Maybe I'll crowbar an old guy because I have to do some salary dump, but top 5 finishes in the event 3 times: 2017, 2018, 2023. Tommy Fleetwood ranked in the top 50 of every strokes gained metric, which is just what we're looking for here at the U.S. Open. What is this? He's played the weekend in 17 of his last 20 majors. So he's made the cut 85%. And that's a decent sample size. Give me Tommy Fleetwood. Tom, how say you?
I'd never get Tommy Fleetwood right. And unfortunately, Sean, he was one of the few players I crossed off that said I didn't want to play this week.
Well, then that means he's going to go off.
He probably will. But the one thing that I looked at, and not that this is end all be all, but he's the 3rd worst this season when it comes to proximity out of the rough. So how close you're hitting it to the hole out of the rough. Obviously, he's accurate. He can play difficult courses as good as anyone. Yep. But just seeing that, only 2 golfers on the entire PGA. I mean, he ranked 177th out of 179. That was a little alarming for me.
Dom, you can pry my Tommy Fleetwood pick out of my cold dead hands because I'm not changing Tommy Fleetwood.
It's a hair play.
Kramer, what do you got?
Well, we were just talking about that 2016 Open at Oakmont when Dustin Johnson, before he was so sexy, maybe he was sexy then, won the event. But do you know who had the lead going into the 4th round of that event? A 4-shot lead. Shane Lowry, a guy that you like, Sean. I'm surprised.
I've played Shane Lowry a bunch. I saw him being mentioned a number of times. Dom seems to be nodding his head.
It feels like he'll be a little chalky.
Okay.
But as Dom mentioned, because I spent $14,400 on Scotty, I got to average about $7,000 a pop on the way out. And which, by the way, I think there's less than 30 golfers that are priced higher than 7,100. So it's not the most challenging. See, how many people make the cut, Dom? Is it 60?
65 in ties, I want to say.
Yes, you figure more than double the amount of players that are 7,100 or more exist. So it wasn't exactly the Rubik's Cube that it usually is. So, Shane Lowry's, and also, I'm told that it's important to be a straight hitter due to the rough.
Yes.
Which I think Shane Lowry is also. So, and the last thing I'll say, because this kind of fits in it, I think Shane Lowry is a relatively short driver. I read someone's piece on Twitter talking about how everyone's going to tell you that this is a bomber's course, but in reality, that does not matter. And short hitters, in fact, if they're straight, might even be a better play. So Shane Lowry, 7,800. Dom, a lot of nodding. I like that.
So probably my favorite DFS play this week. Just
fire the cannons. Let's go.
$7,800. I've always been a big Lowry guy. I usually seek him out on difficult tracks, which we are getting. Like you said, he finished T2 at Oakmont, but blew a 4-stroke lead, shooting 6 over on Sunday back in 2016. This season, first in proximity to the hole, second in total approach, and he's 15th in bogey avoidance. He's always been a guy who's kind of lingered around the top 10, top 20 when it comes to bogey avoidance. So if he can just stay afloat, play his own game, play right around even par, I think that he's a perfect second guy in with Scotty Scheffler.
Ryan, you and Dom, you guys are just really, really off to a great start there.
Well, it feels good, right? I can't.
Dom was. I still stick. I'll stick with Dom's judgment when it comes to which sports are softer. My next golfer, Russell Henley, ranks 14th in driving accuracy, which is what we're looking for. He's been great at U.S. Opens in the past, 8 of 11 cuts, and Henley tied for 7th at last year's U.S. Open and had top 15s in 2021 and 2023. He had a top 7 at Pinehurst last season. So again, driving accuracy. It's less about the distance, more about the accuracy. Give me Russell Henley for $7,400. Not a ton of nodding from Dom. Dom, how say you Russell Henley 7,400?
I'll give you that one, Sean. I do like Russell Henley at 7,400.
Let's go. I'm on the board.
I think that's a really good value. His last time out, he had a T5 at Memorial, one of his better approach weeks in quite a while, but he's a guy who brings ball striking to the table. The only thing I would have concerns with is his putter, but I don't usually weigh a whole lot on putting. So I think 7,400 is a pretty good value.
That's an interesting point too, because I went a little deeper than I normally do. And I was reading both sides of the debate about putting at a course with an insanely hard green. Is it good to be a good putter or a great putter on a ridiculous course with fast greens, or is it so ridiculous that it doesn't matter? And maybe you don't necessarily look at
that
it.
Advantage is wasted.
Even the great putters are going to have some moments where like the ball just. I mean, they're saying these are going to be some of the fastest greens, and it's going to be hot. So, yeah, something I was thinking about. Anyway,
Kramer, you're on the clock.
I played golf this morning too. A lot of golf on the brain. All right, now this guy, I'll be honest. I tried my hardest to not play him.
Okay,
but Sean, we host a podcast. We host a show on VSiN. We watch a lot of content.
True,
and we always hear people talking about their fucking models and how much their models love Sep Straka. Always, Sep Straka is the model golfer that everyone loves every week, it seems like, and everyone's always taking a small piece of Sep Straka. Did you know he's played like shit at the majors? Another reason why I thought he might be interesting this play, because I don't think he's made a cut at the majors this year. Maybe he's not catching all the ownership. Last thing, he's very accurate. What did I mention earlier, Sean? Don't care about the distance.
Yep.
I want the
accuracy
guy off the tee. He's a top 10 guy there. So Sep Straka, 7,700. Dom, does the model like Sep Straka this week?
The models love Sep Straka, especially the way he's been playing this year. Struggled around the green, but everything else has pretty much been on. Solo third at Memorial. Didn't make the cut at the PGA, but he won the Truist just before that. So his major history isn't great, but the 2025 version of Sep Straka is something that we haven't seen before out of him. So he is in great form.
3 for 3, Sean.
Look out.
Good luck. Good luck.
For me, my next golfer, $7,100. Now the community, there's a golf community of DFS, of gambling people. And a lot of times they end up, Ryan, there's this phenomenon where they all kind of end up on one guy. It seemed like, from what I could tell as a casual observer, Sam Burns was a lot of people's guy last week. Heartbreaking loss for Sam Burns. Doesn't get it. He had, I don't know exactly what happened. It went into overtime or whatever the golf equivalent is. Couldn't just missed it. He shot an 8 under 62 in the final round, 1 stroke short of his career low. He's coming in red hot. And I think the fact that everyone had him last week and didn't win, they're going to be like, oh no, Sam Burns, fuck that guy. But now this is when Sam Burns comes in and rides that momentum, that near victory. He could almost taste it. And now he's $7,100. Dom, are you in on Sam Burns this week?
Sean, I couldn't be more in on Sam Burns
Let's
this
go.
week. Like you said, fresh off of the playoff loss to Ryan Fox at the Canadian Open. Shot a 62, waited around for 2 hours before the playoff. But this was his best week with his irons since August of 2023. So that's always good to see heading into this week. Ranks number 1 on the PGA Tour this season in putting. His putter's been on fire as of late, but that's no surprise because that's kind of what Burns has always done. But he's gained at least 3 strokes putting in 6 straight events, 30th in total driving. His only problem really is his approach game. But like I said, one of his best approach weeks that he's had was yesterday. I mean, so his irons it's fresh in his mind. He hit some fairways. So I think Sam Burns is a really good value at $7,100. You guys must have my list.
He was close. Well, I got off him because he won. He was close to winning last week. I didn't want to catch any weird steam. I want my lineup to be perfect.
Great.
Sean, do you love this country?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you want to also back someone that's coming off a T8 and a T7?
Depends on the golfer, but you have me intrigued, Ryan.
How about we take our nation's captain for the Ryder Cup, Keegan Bradley?
Oh, I like that.
7,400. I'll be honest. This was I need to find a guy who fits in the price here. And I had read something earlier in the day when I was doing my golf deep dive, and I was like, why not play the United States captain? It's a great time to be patriotic. July 4th around the corner. Just had Memorial Day.
All right.
Dom,
are you selling me or Dom?
Keegan Bradley. We like his form, I think. Are we playing him here?
I think the price is great. I never play Keegan too much, but it makes a lot of sense here. Like you said, he's had his last 2 events. He had top 10 finishes, hits a lot of fairways. He's smart around the green. He's just a guy who's been around. And at $7,400, I can't argue it.
I mean, people are going to be looking at my lineup, Sean, and they're going to be like, how did you get Scotty Scheffler in a lineup?
In this lineup?
In this economy? I'm really the voice is going, Sean. You're up.
It's going. It's where it's never been there. For me, here we go. I got 2 more golfers left. One of which $6,500. So I obviously had to unload some salary to squeeze in Scotty Scheffler. This gentleman, he's advanced the weekend to the last 2 editions of the major. He travels to Oakmont on the heels of a top 4 finish at the RBC Canadian Open. He has made 5 straight cuts. 3 of these finishes come inside the top 25. He's a sensational GPP target, according to some random outlet I Googled. Give me Cam Young, $6,500. Dom, tell people why Cam Young is one of the sharpest plays this weekend.
Sean, you seriously must have my list because he is another one on it. Finally showing some life. T4 at the Canadian Open. That was his best finish in over a year. Everyone's been kind of waiting on that. I mean, as a rookie, he finished, I think, top 10 in 2 of the 4 majors. He actually has 5 top 10s in his 15 career majors. So he's able to do it. What was it? This season he's 7th in proximity out of the rough, 16th in strokes gained putting, and 22nd when it comes to driving distance. So I think that's a really good value for Cam Young coming off of a top 4 in Canada.
Let's get it.
And you want some more golf nuggets?
Sure.
All right. We were watching the highlights of that playoff from Columbus, Ohio, where we saw Max Homa and Ricky Fowler not win. Cam Young won. Sean, well, the other 2 guys in that 5-man playoff, Eric Cole and Chase Johnson, were just allowed into the U.S. Open as alternates. So, the Cam Young thing too, the momentum of qualifying for the U.S. Open and then balling out at the Canadian Open, international.
Let's get it. Kramer, what do you got?
All right. Sean.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Dom, what if I told you I have a man here for $6,700 who has never missed the cut at the U.S. Open in 9 starts? That's pretty.
Sure
that's
thing.
pretty good. He's also in good form. 11th at the Masters before he completely tanked, and Scotty Scheffler got the job done. And that's all I got. Harris English 67.
Oh, and shout out to Japan in the chat because he's
a Harris English.
He
guy.
was emphatic. Because we laughed at him last time, and then he said, "If I get laughed at for playing Harris English again, they won't be a dab time." And of course, Japan loves a good dab. So shout out to you, Japan. It sounds like you are on the Harris English market once again.
Yes.
Yeah, I apologize to him. I think the PGA Championship episode, I said, don't do it with Harris English. We finished high for second. So I take full blame there.
Don't worry, Dom. The audience does keep receipts, so they keep you honest.
Let us know. It's not usually a positive thank you though, for whatever reason. Anyway, so do we like Harris English, Dom?
Yeah, I do. I like the price. He's been very consistent at least making the cut in majors, and he's had really high finishes this year. Like I said, T2 at the PGA, T12 at the Masters. He's been really good off of the tee. He's a guy who can hit a lot of fairways. So when you're looking for guys to make the cut, I think he's a pretty good bet down here at $6,700.
Well, and that's the key, Sean. When you play Scotty Scheffler, just got to get those guys to the weekend.
Right.
Kramer, I'm sending you what's the best way to get an image of our next golfer that I'm going to
send it to me in Slack.
Okay, I'll send it over because the I want to select him, but looking at his DFS picture here, it makes it a little tougher button to click. Now, of course, I did a last second.
What do you mean?
Swap.
It's hard to click.
Well, yes, it's hard to actually have him in my lineup, but again, I'm up against it. I only have $5,800 left here for my DFS lineup. It's a bunch of guys I don't recognize the name of, and this gentleman, a legend in the golf world. Give me $5,800. His resume speaks for itself. Now he's an old salty dog, but I just watched a clip of him with a crazy chip in. the Phil Mickelson photo that they use.
Oh, where'd it go now? I'll just leave.
For it's like Mrs. Doubtfire on crack. Like what is up with Phil in this photo? Anyway, I'm taking Phil Mickelson.
You know what it is? It's also the hat tan.
Yeah.
That makes him look even crazier.
Yeah. The eyes, something's going on with the eyes. It's all that live money getting to his head. But I saw a crazy chip in that he just hit. Maybe a little mojo left in the bag for one more run here. All we got to get is like a top 25 for him. Might pay off. Tom, I mean, again, I only got $5,800 left. If you got a better golfer, I'm in. But Phil Mickelson,
I don't mind it at all. You're getting a guy with a lot of experience who's obviously played here before. He's coming off of a T4 at Live Virginia, where you did see that chip in. So at $5,800, I don't mind that at all.
Again, Sean, this is 34th U.S. Open.
Yeah,
it sounds like it's being reported that this will be his last. And
he's not going to go out soft.
Trivia. Do you know? So he's tied for second with Hale Irwin, 34 U.S. Opens.
Okay.
Do you know who has the most U.S. Opens played in? I'll give you a hint.
Greg Norman.
Greg Norman is not correct. It's Jack Nicklaus.
Oh, okay.
44.
That's insane.
10 more. By the way, Greg Norman was the answer to the question for the world number one.
John in the chat saying, "What about what he did to Billy?" Yes, on last episode I said I would never play Phil Mickelson because of he turned rat to Billy Walters, but I think Billy Walters would even as a true DJ, Billy Walters will understand. Sometimes it's a value play, and Phil Mickelson at 5,800. I'll run it by Billy next time we hang out.
Snitches get stitches. He already got.
He doesn't like. I read his book. It's a very good book. Very clear. He doesn't like Phil Mickelson anymore. Kramer, your last golfer.
Right, for this last one.
How much salary do you have left?
6,000.
Okay, so you got a little bit more. Oh, I think I know what you're going to do. Grabbing a scarf here. He's going Italian. Ryan's going full Italian. He's wearing the Milano Seaman jersey. He's got his patch on.
Sean,
I don't want to spoil it.
Sean, for 5,700. What if I told you can get a man
exactly who this is?
You can get a man who finished 4th place in the U.S. Open in 2021.
Yeah.
14th place in the U.S. Open in 2022, and goes by the name of Guido Migliozzi. Migliozzi?
I thought you were gonna do Francisco Molinari. So
no.
That's, okay. Tom, bottom barrel Italians. What do you think?
Guido is the Italian that you want.
Oh,
yes.
Nice.
And I mean, the form isn't great looking at his last DP World Tour, but it's all vibes. You got to go with the Italian.
I appreciate that. I also, the idea of a guy named Guido playing in the U.S. Open and some media outlet getting offended. Any other race that would happen, but not the Italians. It's as we all know.
Guido is his actual name, right?
It's okay to make fun of Italians.
It's not like a racist nickname the U.S. Open put on him. He goes by the name of Guido.
This scarf is hilarious. By the way, this is now a classic piece. The Milano Seaman no longer exist as a professional football team.
All right, we're going to talk about our best bets and what Dom likes. Of course, shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Head over there, use the promo code SGPN. Get down on the Underdog Pick'em. A lot of fun ways you can play Underdog. Dom, while we got you on here, is there anything you like for Underdog? Higher, lower? I was looking at a Scotty Scheffler better tourney finishing position of 5.5. So that would obviously be him getting in the top 5, and then pairing it with Tommy Fleetwood better 20.5 finishing position. So basically Tommy Fleetwood top 20 with Scotty Scheffler top 25. That would return you 2.4x. And of course you get that bonus promo code SGPN. Any plays you like in the underdog market for the US Open?
Where I'm at, I just have access to made cuts, made or missed cuts.
So okay. Those are fun.
One made cut that I have, Mr. Johnny Kiefer. Based on his name alone, you would assume the guy's going to make the cut. So he's a Corn Ferry Tour golfer. Leads the Corn Ferry Tour in points. Is first in scrambling. So around the green, he's second in total driving. And he's actually ranked 81st in the world. So got his first win at the end of April. Just going to need him to make it through the cut line. And that will be one of the first ones that I do. Nice.
So John Kiefer, higher a half made cut, Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. And of course, we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm for their power trends. They're cooking up those, but also awesome for golf. They do a ton of stuff. The AI Caddy is great for putting together. Ryan, you always hear these super smart content creators. Oh, I got this in my model. And you think like, oh no, I'm never going to be a model person. It's too tough to figure out. And so they make it super simple. You can be building your model left and right. Don't even have to think about it. Love it. Let's see. I'll tell you this right here. One of my golfers that I like DFS even before I looked at my model is Mr. Cam Young. They like Cam Young. You can get Cam Young top 20 at plus 400. Rhythm loves this. Again, start building your own models, do your own research, and they make it super simple, very easy. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Get you the 7-day free trial today. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And Ryan, mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Maybe we do a MyBookie. Do they have the MyBookie US Open money back? I'm sure that would be a fun sweat for the people. MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Easy to deposit, even easier to withdraw with that sweet cryptocurrency. Maybe you got a little crypto kicking around. Take it over to mybookie.ag. Get that 100% match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions do apply on the deposit bonus. So make sure you read the fine print there. But love the MyBookie casino. Love hanging out. Again, super easy. Tons of the prop builder you can get lost in. MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. SGPN. Dom, I like that. Little sprinkle there you gave us on John Kiefer to make the cut. I'm sure everyone, we're encouraging them to head over to Golf Gambling Podcast. Check out what you guys are going to be getting down on this week. But wet the whistle. What are a couple plays you like going into this U.S. Open? Also, feel free to brag about any tout any CLV on some positions you may have. But what are you looking to fire on going into the tournament?
One guy towards the top of the board that I'm looking at is Ludwig Aubert. 30-1. His top 10 is plus 330. Couple top 20 finishes his last 2 times out. Last week at the Canadian Open, he was T13, gained nearly 8 strokes ball striking, which was one of the best in his career. T12 at the U.S. Open last year. And like I said, we're looking for guys with distance. He has a pretty good mix of distance and accuracies. 12th off the tee on the PGA Tour this season. Really good with his long iron. So I like Ludwig Aubert. 30-1 and his top 10 at plus 330. One long shot that I have is Emiliano Grillo at 400-1.
All right. Now we have to play this guy. 400-1.
400-1.
Why do you think he's live?
To make the cut.
Okay.
So if you just want a safer floor, you can get that on DraftKings. Former top 25 player in the world, starting to find something. He's had 3 T25 finishes in a row. Led the field last week in approach and ball striking. Best career ball striking week, second best approach week of his entire career. And this is a guy who's been around for quite a while and was pretty good in his peak. So I think it's pretty good timing, getting good value on a guy, and can even go his top 40s plus 230. So if you want a floor bet of just a guy to make the cut, Emiliano Grillo is your guy.
Emiliano.
I checked. He's Argentinian.
Oh, okay. 400-1.
I checked. I'm making sure he's not Italian.
He is in my head.
Kramer, what are you doing here for the U.S. Open? Any best bets? Like I said, I think I'm going big, and I'm going to fire on it right now on that underdog. The Tommy Fleetwood with Scotty Scheffler, essentially Scotty Scheffler top 5 and with Tommy Fleetwood top 20. Those are my, I'm just going to concede on the Scotty Scheffler being good. I'm not going to try and fight it. And then Tommy Fleetwood top 20. That's my big play for the U.S. Open. Kramer, what do you?
It sounds like you're moving to my strategy of less is more.
Yeah, because I always get my ass kicked because I try and dabble in all these markets. I get a little lost. I get a little hungry for action. But what are you doing, Ryan?
Well, the first thing I was thinking is, what's the Scotty number right now? Like plus 250.
Yeah, but you can get a better price in game, plus 275.
Well, it made me like, that's when I hear that number, I just think of football.
Well, but also too, I hear people say this and they say it for NBA all the time, like, oh, you can get a better price in game. But I do think, like, what would have to happen to make Scotty's price worse?
We saw it last tournament. It was like, even when he was behind, his price was still ridiculous.
Yeah. Now I think you can probably wait through like most of round 1. And then there's going to be a point where I would imagine where it's a little bit better than plus 275. But if you don't feel like messing around and firing live, I get wanting to just get in on Scotty at a decent price there. But what are you doing, Kramer?
I was going to give you an example of a football game that was plus 245, 248 actually. You may remember week 2, New Orleans Saints, Dallas Cowboys, Saints on the road, or plus 245 dog. That seemed like an impossible outcome.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler plus 245 seems like it's impossible for him to not win. So should we just put the big bet on Scotty Scheffler?
Yeah. Why not? I mean, I'm doing it with the Tommy Fleetwood to get like a little, the top 5 with the top 20. That basically it pays pretty similar to just Scotty winning. Now maybe Scotty muffs it up at the end, and I want to have a little Tommy Fleetwood action. But if you want to go big on Scotty Scheffler, Ryan, I'm not hating you.
I kind of do.
Okay, go for it.
I kind of do. All right, football bet on Scotty Scheffler. I also want to play Shane Lowry. Dom, do you play the Shane Lowry top 10 or top 20?
What did I have down for Lowry? I liked his top 30 actually at minus 110.
Oh yeah, that's it.
But I just like when you can get somewhat closer to even money, because sometimes like if he finishes T21, I mean, and I had a top 20, I would be pissed. So the difference there, I mean, isn't too much. So I would rather have those extra 10 places. But I think his top 5 is appealing at 8-1 because there's a pretty decent number out there.
All right, scratch that, Scott. That's what I'm playing. I'll play both. Top 5, 8-1. Top 30 minus 110, and then Scotty Scheffler win.
Ooh. Okay. So I'm going to be, my big play will be on the Scotty Scheffler and the Tommy Fleetwood, the top 5 and the top 20 combined. And then I'm going to sprinkle on these long shots. I will tail Dom on his Emiliano Grillo at 400-1, Sam Burns 80-1, and then Russell Henley 65-1. So those are my darts, but my big meaty stake is Scotty Scheffler top 5 with Tommy Fleetwood top 20. Tommy, don't let me down. And this is a way of having Tommy Fleetwood sweat. He never ends up winning. And if this is the thing he actually wins, well, then maybe Scotty Scheffler is still top 5 and I win.
Guido, first round leader.
Oh,
275-1.
Do we have any thoughts on the first round leader market, Tom?
I did look at Ludwig, 40-1 for a first round leader. He was actually 4 under after the first round at last year's US Open, just one stroke off of Rory. So Ludwig Aubert at 40-1.
So when I saw Jake, my first thought when Jake put him on the thumbnail was me going, "Who the fuck is that?" and then as soon as Dom started talking about him, I was just thinking, man, Jake must know something about golf. I didn't ask him to do that at all.
He's locked in.
I also, Sean, I have a Keegan Bradley, Shane Lowry, Harris English make cut entry on Underdog that will pay you 3x.
Ooh, okay. Give people that one more time.
Keegan Bradley,
yeah,
Shane Lowry, Harris English, all to make the cut. It's going to pay about plus 310. Looks like.
Let's get it. Any other plays you want to toss out, Kramer? I like my strategy. 3 long shots and then 1 big meaty bet,
and whatever I get in the money bag.
Oh yes, fire up the my bookie money bag.
Let's do this.
Encouraging everyone while Kramer's doing that, head over to Golf Gambling Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Smash that subscribe button. Follow Dom on X at DomCinto_11.
All right, small, medium, large, Sean.
You got to go medium. It's 117-1. So this is what's great about my bookie. You put in $50 and you get 117-1 future on a random golfer. So obviously Scotty Scheffler is the dream, but there's a lot of guys you can get some good values on.
So 50.
Yeah. Medium size sprinkle on. You also, last time I feel like you said, I'm not going to do any research. I'm just going to bet my bookie money bags.
I did. I have too many. I have 3 more bets than I said.
Oh, you okay? All right. Well, get ready to spin the wheel, Ryan.
I'm ready.
Promo code SGPN.
Come on.
Round and round
give
it
me
goes.
some good CLV. I get
Scotty. Dustin Johnson.
Oh,
wow.
So that's 117-1. I got to do one more.
And Dustin Johnson, I'm seeing currently at 170-1. So not a great price.
No, one more. Fuck, I hate this.
Maybe that photo shoot was all he was missing.
One more.
Okay, let's go. Don't let Kramer get hot on the my bookie money bag.
Give me something. Give me some CLV. You gave me Dustin Johnson. This is the greatest and dumbest thing on the internet. Oh my God.
Eric Cole.
He's one of the US Open qualifiers who got in as an alternate.
Yeah.
That's not a good price. No more money bags. Shut it down.
Yeah, he's 200-1, so it's not a horrible price, right? You sure okay.
No.
We're walking away. No one to hold him, no one to fold him.
We got a whole week of me to get back in the money bag. Don't worry.
Right. Plenty of time. Dom, appreciate you hopping on. Go follow him. Go check out the Golf Gambling Podcast. And of course, as always,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the Money Green. He's Ryan.
Go get him, Guido.
Kramer. Let it ride.